It's time to go over the best PlayStation 4 game deals available right now. We've got 10 great deals to go over. A lot of them are from Best Buy, some from GameStop. One of them is on a download key, so without further ado, let's get right into this. Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age for $25, $20 Gamers Club Unlocked. Final Fantasy XII was considered by many to be the black sheep of the Final Fantasy franchise when it was originally released back in 2006. Personally, I never got it, and a lot of the critics agreed with me in thinking that Final Fantasy XII was an excellent game. Nonetheless, it was remastered last year in the form of Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age, and it is an excellent remaster. Far better visuals, a new job system, and it seems like with this re-release, a lot of new gamers appreciated Final Fantasy XII for what it was, and it is a great JRPG. Initially, its $50 price point was a little bit high, especially considering it was a lone PlayStation 2 game, but now that it's down to $25, $20 for Gamers Club Unlocked members, this is a great price.
This stone is devoid of power, empty, yet full of thirst.
UFC 3 for $40, $32 Gamers Club Unlocked. I had to mention UFC 3 on this list because it is such a recent release. It just released earlier this month, and it's already $20 off its base price, and then if you're a Gamers Club Unlocked member, you're getting an additional 20% off on top of that. UFC 3 builds upon the successes of UFC 2, and it is by far the best MMA game that's been released thus far, and if you've been a fan of the prior titles at this price, you should definitely check it out. $40 base, $32 for Gamers Club Unlocked members. South Park The Fractured But Whole for $30, $24 for Gamers Club Unlocked. South Park The Fractured But Whole was the follow-up to the Stick of Truth, and by the way, this edition of Fractured But Whole includes the remastered Stick of Truth on top of that, so talk about value. If you did play Stick of Truth, Fractured But Whole once again builds upon that. It has a superhero theme attached to it, and it's got all of that humor and zaniness that you know and love South Park for. At this price point, $30, $24 for Gamers Club Unlocked member, once again, you're getting the Fractured But Whole, you're getting the Stick of Truth. That is a ridiculously great deal.
Freedom Pals, unite! Motherfucker! You're such a dick, Coon! Mosquito away! Super Crab is gay. Tama! Until next time. Do the fuck?
Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 for $20, $16 Gamers Club Unlocked. So the whole world has been buzzing about Dragon Ball FighterZ, and yes, that is an excellent game, but if you want a more arcadey Dragon Ball fighting game, well, Xenoverse 2 is gonna be right up your alley. Xenoverse is one of the better Dragon Ball franchises that's been created. It's great, and while it does have its issues here and there with the customizability and the fan service, it is a great game for fans. If you are a newcomer, some of the storytelling elements might get lost on you, but overall, it's a very fun game. $20 base and $16 for Gamers Club Unlocked members. Speaking of fighting games, let's talk about another great one. Injustice 2 is down to $20, $16 for Gamers Club Unlocked members. Injustice 2 was the follow-up to Injustice Gods Among Us, and what's great about Injustice 2 is that if you're not into super technical fighters, you are still getting a great single-player mode out of Injustice 2 as well. It was very engaging, and comparatively speaking to a lot of other fighting games, it was top-notch. Of course, you're gonna get the most enjoyment out of this game if you play the multiplayer, if you delve into it and really understand the nuances behind it. It's a very engaging experience, and now that it's so cheap, keep in mind that this game is still a relatively recent release. It only came out around 8 months ago. $20 is a fantastic price, and if you're a Gamers Club Unlocked member for just 16 bucks, this is a steal.
What comes next, mere mortals cannot stop.
How do I beat him? You can't.
The final deal at Best Buy is going to be .hack GU Last Recode for $40, $32 for Gamers Club Unlocked members. So this is another very recent release. This collection released back in November, and it's one of the more niche collections that you're going to find. .hack was a very good series of Japanese RPGs, and while it wasn't among the absolute best JRPGs on the PlayStation 2, the games were very good, and the .hack GU trilogy had great combat, a great cast of characters, a great story, and with this collection you get all 3 episodes remastered, better visuals, gameplay refinements, all that good stuff, and there is an additional 4th episode that's a very small experience but a nice addition. Again, it's $40 base and $32 for Gamers Club Unlocked members. Moving on to some excellent deals available at GameStop, you can pick up Assassin's Creed Origins 50% off for $30. Assassin's Creed Origins is a very good Assassin's Creed title. It's also very different than every previous Assassin's Creed game. The combat is totally different, the world is a lot better, and the exploration in Assassin's Creed Origins is top-notch. The storytelling does falter a little bit comparatively speaking to a lot of other AC titles. It's still passable, but not up to the quality that the series has set. However, that is far outweighed by the immense amount of content in the game, the great gameplay, and the exceptional visuals. Ubisoft has also remained committed to keeping the game updated and fresh, so that's great, and for $30, it's a great pickup.
Who kills the wicked and the corrupt. What you have started in Egypt will change the course.
Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus for $30. Tokyo Xanadu has been one of the underrated JRPG gems of this generation, and it's very similar to Persona 5 in terms of its character development, character interactions, and storytelling. Now, Persona 5 is arguably the best Japanese RPG of all time. Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus is definitely not up to that quality standard. However, it is good in its own right, and if you're a fan of Persona 5, well then you're gonna get a lot of enjoyment out of this game too. It does have a lot of your typical JRPG tropes, so that might turn newcomers off, but if you're a fan of the genre, this is one to check out, and it's a game that's really retained its value, so while $30 isn't super cheap, it's as cheap as it comes for a game like this. And the final deal at GameStop, you can pick up Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Gold Edition for just $25. That's a great price on a fantastic survival horror game. Resident Evil 7 alone typically retails for $30. The Gold Edition is typically a hefty $50, and it of course includes the base Resident Evil 7 game and all of the downloadable content. You get Banned Footage Volume 1, Banned Footage Volume 2, as well as End of Zoe. And the Not a Hero DLC content is free as well, so a lot of content for your money. If you've yet to check out Resident Evil 7, without a doubt, this is the version you should buy. And $25 is a great price.
What the fuck are you?
Shut up and listen if you want to stay alive. Ethan, you gotta get out of that house.
And finally, one last deal available at CDKeys. Crash Bandicoot The Insane Trilogy is $24.29. Now, this is a download code for the game, but this is a fantastic price for Crash Bandicoot The Insane Trilogy, one of the best collections released recently. And this collection has had its praises sang, so just know it is a fantastic collection of 3 great platformers. Whether you're a fan of Crash Bandicoot back in the day or you're a newcomer to the franchise, it really does uplift the games to a modern standard. And sure, it doesn't look as good as some of the PS4 games that were built ground up for the console, but it far than makes up for that with its excellent gameplay and great nostalgia elements. For $24, if you've been waiting to pick up this collection, now is the time to do so. So that wraps up 10 awesome PlayStation 4 game deals available right now. What do you think? Which of these deals are you gonna pick up? Sound off with your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching and goodbye.